Hi, welcome to another Maria's Moments, and I am having my moments. I've already done this once today, and the lighting, and yet I'm outside. All of a sudden, the screen goes dark, so someone's trying to play with me. Anyway, today we're going to learn about to love and be loved, because love is so sublime, and so we need to talk about it. And here I am in Southern California at a beautiful marina. And I want to show you the gorgeous yachts. It's just so fun watching people. And in fact, there was a gondola last night. It was so amazing. I felt like I was in Venice. Anyway, I'm holding my the phone, and so I hope I don't like shake or something. That this is I'm not steady, but it seems to have an issue with the lighting. But in any event, I did want to say that in terms of love, the more we give, the more we receive, because it's like as we empty our cup and give, then the divine fills it, and we also we receive the love of the object of our attention, because as we give, we receive. And I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive, that you fill your own cup first, and you do, because when you can't give from a place of lack, and so the more you can feel the love within yourself, the more you can give to another, and then that person as well feels and then gives it back to you. Yep. And so the happier your partner is, the happier you become. And so that's kind of people think, oh, that's just so selfish, but you know what, it is selfish, but there's nothing wrong with being selfish, because selfishness is really a concern for oneself. And so if we aren't happy, then no one around us, if they're the least bit empathetic or empathic, then they can't feel the same love that we have. Anyway, I don't know if any of you have read Ayn Rand, but she was one of my favorite authors when I was in college, and she had written books like The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. I think both of those were made into films, actually. And she also wrote something called, they were essays, The Virtues of Selfishness. And she was a Russian-American author who was highly criticized, actually, for her stance on selfishness. And she was born in 1905, I think, and passed in 1982. But she's quite well known. And she was saying that everything we do, it comes from a sense of pleasing ourselves, because when we please ourselves, we then can please another. And it's almost as if like when you want to do something, when you want to buy someone a present, for instance. Yes, you're doing it for that person, but actually you're doing it for yourself, because you want to buy the person a present. It's not because that person has asked you for something. It's because it makes you feel good, and you want that person to feel good, and you love that person. And so you want them to smile and be happy, and you want them to really appreciate what you have, what the thoughtfulness involved in your bestowing something on anyone else. And so that's what's so fun about it, is it's so much better to give than to receive, and many of us are much better givers than we are receivers, and sometimes that can create a problem for us. But anyway, I want you to see the yachts, but I just don't I want you to I don't want the screen to go black. Anyway, what was I going to say? Okay, so when we're a mover and a shaker, yes, we are movers and shakers as we co-create life with others, and we can co-create those lives collaboratively with another, to create sacred moments of now. I'm sure you all know the book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. I don't know what we did without that book, actually, but it certainly gave me a new perspective. Oops, I just dropped the phone. Oops. Oh, I told you this was an unsteady one. This is a very strange day. Anyway, yeah, it's the planets and stuff. But anyway, as we look at the sacred moments of now, and we're smart in knowing that this is all we have. The past is gone, the future is yet to unfold, and so we have today. And so to really behold, all the blessings of this very moment, and the people in our lives, and the birds, and the ocean, and the boats, and all the wonderful miracles that we have around us all the time, and all we need to do is look and partake. And so as we think about what does God have for us, God's will is really our will, because we are aspects of divinity. And God doesn't really care what we do. That's at least my perspective, because God wants us to do what we're going to do. And if those aren't appropriate choices, then, we suffer those consequences, and we have to come back and do it again, or we have more and more opportunities to come back and do it again. And so that's why many of us repeat cycles. We end up dating the same types of person, because the same types of people, because we didn't learn it the first time, and maybe there were red flags, but we chose to ignore them. And so what happened is the next one, different face, different body, but really same personality. And so we're given opportunities to grow because we are children. And as I mentioned in one of my other videos, God is like a grandfather, whereby our grandfather takes us to the playground, and we can go on the swing, we can go on the slide, we can hang upside down from the monkey bars, we can do all kinds of silly things. But as long as we don't hurt ourselves, and as long as we learn, we can do whatever we want. And then, we do suffer those consequences. In any event, we are love. And love is our essence, and love is to be embraced. And so the more we can really open our heart and see the goodness in other people and other things, and even the situations that have shattered us, the situations that have broken our hearts. But really, we can put Humpty Dumpty back together again, because we are resilient, and we're not to be destroyed by another, and even we actually self-destruct, I think, more so than allow another person to destroy us. And that just is so ridiculous, because we have a purpose. We are here taking up a spot on this planet, in the Milky Way galaxy, in the universe, in our universe, in one of the billions or infinite number of universes, in a megaverse and in a multiverse, and in the omniverse. And so, oops, there goes my phone again. Oh my gosh, I do apologize. I'm not steady here. Anyway, when we drop the expectations we have for another, and we think, oh, well, how come he's not what I want? How come he's not doing this, or he's not being this? Well, you know what? That's why we're disappointed. That's why we do experience heartache, because it's not appropriate to have expectations about someone else, right? Because what we want is, we want someone else to do what they want. We want for someone else what they want for themselves. And likewise, we want someone else to want for us what we want for ourselves, because it's not a competition. It's not an adversarial situation. It's a loving, caring dynamic where we care about the other person. And when we get along, and we're talking about healthy relationships here. We're not talking about psychopathology. We're not talking about narcissism or borderline personality or anything else, any other type of serious mental illness or whatever. We're talking about healthy relationships. And in healthy relationships, we are healthy when, and we feel best and positive and most loving and most giving when our partner is happy, because we all know what it's like to be around someone who is kind of a fuddy-duddy, who's like miserable. And then we all of a sudden take that on, and we think, oh, I don't want to be around somebody like that. I want to be around somebody who's smiling and happy and is interested in us, right? And is ready for the next adventure, and is exciting, so that we can have passion in our life, and assuming we can still, maintain strong boundaries, And we can, when we have that understanding, then we can understand the betrayal of our past. Because we understood that we couldn't read about the experiences of our past in a textbook or whatever, even in an abnormal psychology textbook. We could only experience them experientially, right? And so by doing that, then we have a better understanding, and we understand that there is perfection in the universe and that there were lessons to be learned. And so we understand that we were dealing with a wounded person who was going through his own. And actually then the divine maybe has somebody even better in store for us. So we shouldn't lament over anything that we've done in the past. And we talked about that yesterday. Regret is one thing, but shame and guilt is not appropriate for us. We can regret things that we could have done better, but at the time, that was the best we did. That was the best we knew. That was the best we could offer anyone else. And so that's just the way it is. And so we grow every day. We get better. And remember, when we feel a strong connection to the energy of all creation, to our Creator, to the energy of God, to the, however we want to say it, the most sublime energy, the divine source, the spirit, whatever that is, we feel that connection. And so we feel that in a visible sense, and in an invisible sense, because we see the visible world and we can see the beauty and the miracles around us. And at the same time, we also see the invisible world. We intuit it. We feel it in our heart. And that's why going into a very sacred sanctuary sometimes really does evoke a lot of emotions. We can, be brought to tears when we think of just how wonderful our life really is and how blessed we really are to be on this planet at this very time in the history of the world. And so one of my favorite quotes is one by Henry David Thoreau. Well, he's one of my favorite authors anyway, too. But he did write something, and he said, "I make myself rich by making my wants few." And so it's true. When we detach from the expectations and from the things, the possessions, the assets, all the junk that we can occupy ourselves with, then we can really get down to the feelings, to the emotions, to love and to be loved, and to see the love in the pigeons. That I just love the pigeons, but to see them in the puppies and the kittens and the German shepherds and and my Tibetan terriers, which I couldn't leave them out, but my Athena and Aphrodite, but they've crossed over, and they spent 15 years with me, and they were amazing. But to see the sky and let me show you this marina here. It is just so lovely. And so I don't know if you can see it, but can you kind of see it? Yes, a little bit. And all the boats. It is just so magnificent. Yes. And this is nature, and nature is free. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow. And I love you. And just have a really, really wonderful day. And just bask in the glory of being alive. Yes. All right. Thank you. Bye.